Hey, what's up guys? My name is Cameron Gallagher and today we're going to be taking a look at the Quasar Science QLED lights. So let's get into it. From the first time that I tried Quasar Science 2-foot LED lights, I was absolutely blown away by the fact that you could have a color accurate light fully dimmable without any flickering issues at high frame rates for $45 pretty much blew my mind. So I emailed the people over at Quasar Science and I said, hey, I love you guys. And they said, Cameron, we love you too. Not really, but close enough. So they were incredibly nice enough to send out a kit of their Quasar Science QLED lights. Now, just a quick disclaimer, they did send me these lights, but of course they are not sponsoring this video, so I can say whatever I think or whatever I want about their lights. But spoiler alert, it's all pretty good. So these Quasar Science QLED lights come in 3 different sizes, a 7-inch, 12-inch, and 2-foot version. And of course, the biggest selling feature to these lights is the fact that they are battery operated. They come with a really nice micro USB cable that you can easily plug into pretty much any outlet and of course recharge the batteries. Now I believe Quasar Science says the batteries last about 4 hours, and although I haven't really tested this scientifically, they definitely last quite a long time and I've been super happy with their battery performance. So with also being battery operated, these are actually bi-color LED lights and are fully dimmable. So what that allows you to do is change between 5600 or daylight balance and 3200 tungsten balance, which gives you a great range of color temperatures when shooting for stylized shoots like right now, where I have a key light at 3200 and my backlight is at 5600, giving me this really cool color contrast, and or just matching the lighting around you. So if you're in a situation where you're shooting outdoors, obviously you want to use daylight balance, so you can change all of your lights to daylight balance to match the outside light. Or vice versa, if you're inside and there's a bunch of tungsten practicals around, you can easily use tungsten to shoot and make sure that you're matching the color temperature. Now, if you've never used a bicolor light, it is honestly incredible and game-changing. The fact that I can set up lights, that I can change the backlight to a 3200 or 5600 based on my key light, it just gives me so much great color contrast and versatility, especially like a lot of my shoots which are run and gun. Another amazing thing about these lights is they're fully dimmable and flicker free. So when you're shooting at higher frame rates like 60 and 120 frames, you get zero flickering, which is just amazing, but especially the fact that when you have to dim the lights, because these are pretty bright, it becomes incredibly handy. I do a lot of slow motion stuff when it comes to corporate videos and even weddings and stuff like that, so to have these flicker free is really just an absolute lifesaver. This entire kit can be mounted from a 5/8 screw in the bottom, which is great because you can use it with a C-stand or your typical light stand if it has that correct mounting. That's really cool because you can boom it up places and kind of put it wherever you want. But another great feature is these actually have a magnetic backplate on them. Now at first I kind of thought, I don't really know if I'd want to use that, and although on the 2-foot version it's a little bit heavy I think for it a lot of the times, it's still really great for some of the smaller ones of putting them in little small places where you might need some accent lighting. So other than using these in the studio, I took these on 2 recent shoots, a music video and some corporate shooting. So for the corporate video, we had this kind of like locker room getting ready scene, and what was really awesome is I could throw these up. I actually used the magnetic backplate on the smaller 7-inch version, snapped it up to the top of a little like kind of panel that was up top, and it made an awesome top light and this really cool moody look. Now of course these are battery powered, so we could move quickly, I could move them all over, and of course we could change the color temperature and make sure that we had this nice color contrast between the two of them. And I'm not gonna lie, if it wasn't for these lights, realistically this would have not been possible because it would have been so hard to get lights in these small places where you can't see them, especially bicolor and of course, you know, bright enough that it looks good. The second shoot was a music video shoot. We were going for this kind of old school Western look, and the hardest thing is the location that we had didn't have power at all. It was kind of like an abandoned camping ground. So what I did was I easily just set up these lights, brought them in, and I think it made the music video look incredible. Again, we used that kind of lighting contrast between 5600 and 3200 Kelvin, and it really just helped push this really cinematic look and just give us a really nice look in general. Later on that night, we were doing a band performance shot where they were in front of a campfire. So what we did is we did have a small fire going for somewhat of the wide shot, but then after that, I tuned one of these to 3200 Kelvin and set my white balance a little bit cooler to like 4800 Kelvin, which really warmed these lights up. And of course, being battery powered, we just stuck it right in front of the fire, and there we go, it looked like it was a fire. One of the greatest things about these is they're so lightweight and they're so easy to travel with. What I actually do is I use an old tripod case, and I actually have these 3 as well as my old 2-foot inside this tripod case. It's so nice because they're all nice and compact. I can throw it over my shoulder. I can bring these things in and around. I can stick them places with the magnets. I can mount them with any mounting thread that I want. And the fact that you can have that versatility with a light is pretty much amazing. Now these things stay fairly cool. Of course, they're a little bit warm if you leave them on for a while and you were to touch them, but nothing where you're going to get burned or anything like that. So that's also really nice too, because if it's really hot out, you can have these in the hot temperature. It's just nice to know that they're not going to overheat on you. Of course, as all of Quasar Science tubes, these are all incredibly high CRI ratings, so the color is perfect on them. Didn't really have to talk about that because Quasar Science just nails it on that, so nothing to really worry about there. After using these guys for about a month and a half, I am completely impressed with the visuals that I'm getting. The fact that I can be so versatile, I can be quick to move, battery powered, and bi-colored, it's just something you can't get from most lights. And kind of the craziest part of it all is that these are very inexpensive, running at $100, $200, and $300 for each kit as they go up. So when you think about it, for $600, you can get a 3-point lighting kit that you can easily travel with in a tripod bag that you can use for interviews, corporate shoots, music videos, and pretty much everything. These are also great if you're a YouTuber like myself, where you're setting up these constant kind of talking headshots. It's just easy because they're really light, they're easy to set up, and I can kind of stick them anywhere. I actually have this back like on top of my bookshelf, and it works perfectly. So I tried to think of some cons to these lights, and there really isn't many. Now, I mean, of course, these are super bright, but I mean, I would love, I guess, if they were brighter, but that's not really an issue because they pretty much have been bright enough for any situation. Granted, maybe if you're outdoors and you're in direct sunlight, you might want to use like two 2-foot ones, or maybe use your entire 3 kit on a key light or something like that. But otherwise, they're more than bright enough. Now, Quasar Science does have RGB versions of these, which I definitely want to get my hands on, so be sure to keep looking out for one of those. But I would highly, highly recommend this to anyone. I am most likely going to be picking up a second kit of these to bring around with me because they are so versatile, and honestly, I really could not see myself not having these lights now that I've used them. They're something that I bring with me on every shoot because they're so easy to use and they're just so quick. Now, I probably sound like I'm going on and on, but it really is true. When you kind of see your workflow change in lighting, when you can easily just set these things up and no power and all that kind of stuff and bi-color, once you actually try these, you really understand how incredible they are and how much they can do for your videos in any situation. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video, so be sure to check out the Quasar Science links below, give them some love. These guys are really awesome. They sent me a t-shirt too, which is really cool. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Follow me on Instagram too down below, and I'll catch you guys soon.